Missed that guy. We're just watching the highlights. How much will we miss him? Sorry, Skip.
Well, I love what C.J. Anderson brought to this team last year because the one thing that you cannot put a value on is experience and leadership. I don't think you can have enough of that. And I thought that was the biggest difference for the Los Angeles Rams last year. They got lucky with C.J. Anderson because he came at a time when they desperately needed somebody to fill in the gaps for Todd Gurley while he was hurt, while he was on the shelf. And so C.J. Anderson brought that. He brought them motivation. I mean, he played with a chip on his shoulder. Every time he touched the football, you saw him stick his foot in the ground and get up the field. And it's amazing what you can do when you get a little bit of space. Right? And so I know he had been cut, by 2 different teams beforehand, but what he brought to the Rams last year, on top of the production that he gave them, again, you can't put a money value on leadership and experience. And Jared Goff has to have play action. He has to have the run game because that's what this offense is built off of. And so by them getting C.J. Anderson, it played right into what they do well, right? Run the football, play action off of that. And so can they find another big body running back to, run the football hard up the middle? Yeah, you can do that because the nature of the running back position has been watered down over time. But the other side, what they will be losing is the leadership and experience, and I just don't know if you can replace that part of it.
Well, what it tells me is that the Rams are pretty comfortable with Todd Gurley's injury. You keep hearing that he might have some arthritis.
That's what I keep hearing.
With the knee.
Are you comfortable with that?
No, I'm not comfortable with it, but they must be. But here's the thing, Skip. Last month, the Lions put an offer on Malcolm Brown, who was Todd Gurley's backup. The Rams matched. He got hurt, so this is why they went out, because they would not have gone out and gotten C.J. had he stayed healthy. So what this tells me that they don't view C.J. as a feature back. They feel like he can come in and spell him. But if you just match the offer, you're paying Todd Gurley all this money. You paid good money to keep Malcolm Brown. It really didn't make sense. The Lions probably gave him, $2.5 million, I would assume, to go there. That's a lot of money for a guy. And C.J. doesn't play special teams. Normally you have a running back, Skip. He's your third running back. He plays special teams. C.J. is not a special teams player. So with that being said, I think the Rams feel they're in a good spot with what they have with Todd Gurley and with Malcolm Brown. And today, Skip, he's not a feature back. You're going to use a 2-back, sometimes maybe even 3. The Patriots use 3-4 in a game occasionally. So I think this is a good move for the Rams. Plus, they got some other issues, Skip. They spending a lot of money, and you don't want to spend like we're saying $2-3 million. That seems like a lot of money.
It does.
But for a running back in NFL, that is a lot of money, especially if you can go find one in free agency or get one in the draft for less than $2.5-3 million.
C.J. Anderson saved the Rams season.
He did.
100%.
We had him on the show. When was it?
About 2 months ago. Like 2 weeks after the Super Bowl.
To your point, he's a really good guy. He's a good talker. He's
good interview.
He's good. He's smart, and he's been around. And he knows how to play the game on and off the field. And they're going to miss that. Because he stepped in. I don't know what's wrong with Todd's knee. And I like Todd a lot too, but I'm afraid it could be an ongoing issue that he's going to fight the rest of his career. And as you guys know, running backs, as you know, it's just hard to last that long.
Every running back has arthritis in his knees. Every running back. Every football player got arthritis in his knees.
So they signed him off the couch after he got cut twice, and he steps right in at Arizona and goes for 167, and then San Francisco 137, and then the nightmare happened to my Dallas Cowboys, who had just stifled Seattle's #1 rushing attack at Jerry World in a playoff game. They just shut it down. Seattle went nowhere slowly the whole game. And then that happened to my team. And I can tell you, my safeties can really tackle when they're falling on their back, right? Because they got pancaked. Every one of those, he's pancaking Jeff Heath right
You ain't really trying to tackle a bowling ball with legs.
Who wants to try that?
It ain't easy. Exactly. It ain't easy.
Man, when he gets running downhill, that's force.
He got low heels to the ground. And they talk about, I was like 240, 240, 250.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, it looked to me like Sean McVay kind of fell in love with him because they went to New Orleans and he was trying to feature CJ.
Yeah.
And Gurley's over there riding the bike saying, I'm ready.
And that's why we knew something was wrong with Todd Gurley. Now, everybody said Todd Gurley was 100% healthy and it was this yada yada. Running backs are not sitting on a stationary back, especially come NFC Championship game, especially Super Bowls if you're 100% healthy.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm still back to this age-old dilemma of how valuable is a running back? Can you just go get somebody off the couch? Look, New England, I'm not saying that Sony Michel carried them, but he had big games in the playoffs.
The playoffs, he's unbelievable.
I'm looking at his numbers, 129, 113, and 94 in the Super Bowl. That works.
Yes.
You know, that gave him. But Burkhead was the closer. They would put him in late because the kid was a rookie, Sony. And I think Belichick didn't want any fumbles down on the goal line.
I think the thing is system.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sonny Michel's not working in the Dallas Cowboys offense. You know what I'm saying? You need a bell. They need bell cows, right? So it all depends on the type of system that you're running. The Patriots are a 2-3 back system. They have one guy to run the ball. When you're backed up, they have another guy to run the ball in the middle of the field, another guy to run the ball at the goal line, somebody to catch the ball out of the backfield. They have 4 or 5 different guys to do different things. The Cowboys and most teams, you know, probably these great backs, Zeke, Le'Veon Bell, they do all of it. And that's what you need in that system. But yeah, you can find a Skip. Look, I'm a prime example of this. I played with Terrell Davis for 4 years, and we've had backs to come along, and everybody talk about the system. And guys was getting 1,400 yards, but they wasn't getting 1,700 taking us to the Super Bowl.
No, they wasn't.
They weren't winning MVPs. There's a difference between, you can get a guy that go, who was, Darren McFadden. He ran for 1,000 yards behind that offensive line. Zeke comes in and gets 1,600.
Okay.
You see the difference? You see.
But the system y'all had in Denver
it
was fire. To say the least. Because y'all had like 6 or 7 running backs. Landis Gary.
Clem Porter.
They all came through rushing for 1,000 yards. I always want to play in that system. You're talking about running backs coming to a good system? Man, they had
what you wanted?
That's what you wanted to be.
Would John Elway have won a Super Bowl without TD?
No.
Nope.
No.
Would not have.
No. I mean, nobody gonna tell you. Mike will tell you that. Everybody tell you. John will tell you that. We needed that. I mean, like I said, we had other guys come in. Landis Gary got 1,200, and Mike Anderson rushed for 1,400, and Porter's had back-to-back 1,500. But they weren't TD. TD was a different animal. And come playoff time, the dude averaged 142 a game. Can you imagine the playoff when they know we gonna run the ball? Stop it.
Okay, but in today's NFL, I still say if you can't throw it, you can't win. And you say Dak can't throw it, and he throws it just well enough to win division.
But because they got Zeke behind him. Without Zeke behind him,
that guy got
not carrying that football.
There's a reason what Stephen Jones said. What did Stephen Jones say this offseason, Skip? What was their number 1 priority?
Dak.
No, that ain't what he said.
I was like, wait, did I miss that?
That's
no,
what
I don't
he
think that was it. That was your priority.
No, he said,
I think he said it was DeMarcus Lawrence.
No.
Huh? I don't think he said that.
When that guy doing this right here, Skip, when he get up do this and do that right, things going good for y'all. But I ain't see a whole lot of that against the Rams.
You know what? There's some days when Dak Prescott's the best running back on the Dallas Cowboys. Am I right about that?
No.
Who makes the big runs? Who makes the goal line
He'll
runs?
splash some in there. He'll splash some important runs in there. And
clutch playmaking runs.
But consistently throughout the game, no.
You need Zeke.
Huh?
Need Zeke.
I just hope he lasts more than another couple of years because he tries to run through brick walls every play.
Does.
I've never seen anything like
Skip,
it.
you run him, you give him the ball. What you trying to win games, right?
Yeah.
Okay then.
4 wins the game. 21 goes along for the ride. I'm sorry. In the end, that is the truth.
That is not the truth.
It is the truth.
That is not the truth.
It is.
I feel like that was a record for longest time. We haven't mentioned the Cowboys in a show, but we had to get them. We had to get a Dak.
You had to bash me with those lowlights.
What?
CJ Anderson running over Jeff Heath.
Bringing back some nightmares.
Yeah.
Where was the Wolf?
Jeff Heath should have no part of it.
He didn't want
no part of it.
He should have never been able to get to Jeff Heath.
Hey,
where's the Wolf Hunter?
You realize what George Iloka is going to do to CJ Anderson next year?
Nothing.
He'll knock him on his butt.
Who? You're gonna knock CJ Anderson on his butt?
Yeah.
No, not even close.
Okay, what was Jalen Smith and the Wolf Hunter? Where were they?
I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
He should have never been able to get back to Jeff Heath.
Okay.
You got the running back running against the safety. You're doing your job.
It happened all
Y'all doing
night
well.
long.
That one's my fault for bringing it up. Thank you for being here, Reggie. Always good to have you. Should the Ravens be upset by RG3's latest comments? We'll tell you what